throughout my YouTube career, there is one article in particular that has been seared into my brain. What I consider to be the most disgusting piece of journalism that I have ever witnessed. And it is, of course, by The Verge. Like every single time I see the publication, it reminds me of the disgust that I experienced when I read this particular article. So this happened in the year of the Lord 2014, and this man managed to do something that was considered impossible up until that time. He managed to land a shuttle on a comet. And the reason that this was difficult is due to the math involved. Like, the calculations alone were incredibly complex. So this was his grand day of achievement. Like this is when the scientist should have been the happiest in his life. But instead of being happy, he cried. And he had to cry because he had this meeting with this journalist. And as you can see from the thumbnail and her body posture, she's not really happy. Like, she has the inquisitorial stance. Like, she asked him a very difficult question, which he now has to answer. And that is, why is your shirt sexist and ostracizing? Right. I mean, even in 2014, you notice that the left didn't appreciate the male gaze. So according to the thesis of this journalist, women do not go in STEM because they see this man's shirt. Like, I'm not kidding. Like, this is what the article is about. Like, they're not even trying to rationalize. No, they're outright stating the fact that, according to The Verge, women must be like vampires and the shirt must be like the cross, right? So, like, adult human females, when they see this shirt, they don't want to work with this guy for some reason. I guess, like, I don't know, like, they're devoid of sexuality or what. Like if you go into a workplace and you see a woman that has some vampires from Twilight on her shirt and they're muscular, does that intimidate you? Well, according to The Verge, it should, I guess, because they also believe in equality. So anyway, where am I going with this, right? Why am I even bringing this up? Well, I'm pretty sure you know that if you follow social justice, it's what it was called then, or wokeness as it's called now, they get upset on a lot of issues. So much so that I can have friends from all across the political spectrum. Like I can have friends that are far right, that are centrists, that are atheists, that are Muslim, that are Christians, that are extreme evangelicals, that are Jewish. Like, I can be friends with everyone, even furries. But the far left, my fucking God. Like, I can befriend the academics from the far left, like the ones that are, you know, at the university level. But the foot soldiers, holy fucking shit. Like, they're very nice people. I'm not kidding. Like, when you speak with one of them, they're actually very nice. There's a fucking switch in their brain, chat. There's like a fucking switch in their brain. And if you say the wrong thing, if you do the wrong joke, if you wear the wrong shirt, if you exercise of human right, of freedom of expression, once that switch is flipped, they turn into absolute monsters. They're not just like saying that they don't want to be friends with you anymore. No, like they will try life ruination. They will do their best in order to get you banned from social media, to get you deplatformed, to get you out of a job. They want to see you in a ditch. And this tactic is so smart. Like, unironically, it's an ideology that has managed to create people that behave in a way that they don't even know how useful it is for the ideology. So what triggers that switch is the question, right? Well, most people don't know. Like in this case, before this article was made, do you think that this man had any idea that by wearing this shirt, which by the way is not even pornographic, but do you think like by wearing this shirt, he thought that he is going to get into trouble? No. If you look at what they consider microaggressions at the university, it's like wearing dreads as a white guy, right? Like if you don't have the pedigree, the heritage, your hair is not your own, like you're not allowed to. The clothing that you wear, telling someone that they speak very good English, asking someone where they're from, right? Like all of this shit flips that switch. And again, like these individuals, they're very nice people, very compassionate and empathetic until the switch is flipped, and then it's like 180 degrees. If you go to a university, you know what the fuck I'm talking about. If you are on a Discord server with these individuals, you know what I'm talking about. So the problem is like what flips the switch? And there's many things, right? So what do you have to do now? You have to learn wokeness. Like, and ironically, if you want to cohabitate with these individuals, you gotta learn wokeness. Like, you gotta internalize the woke ideology. You gotta know what's upsetting them, what isn't. And this is another way that they get people to study woke ideology. And the thing is, like, when you're watching my channel, or when you're watching the Hodge Twiz or other political commentators that are more to the right, at this point I wouldn't even call them to the right, I would just call them normal. But you kind of are vaccinated against wokeness. Like, you know they're bad people, because like what this lady did here is absolutely atrocious, right? Like making the scientist cry because he thought he's going to lose his job over some trivial shit. In order to so like, you know that they're bad, but other people don't, right? Like they have really good PR, so other people don't. And other people are just going to be like, okay, so this is bad, and they start reading, and from like 100% of people that study wokeness, maybe 25% become woke themselves. And then they get offended from everything. And it causes this wheel to turn, right? So like, one way they spread that ideology, because the thing is, like, wokeness ideology is incredibly boring, childish, and not a lot of people want to study it. But one of the ways they do it is they force feed it through entertainment, through video games, through commercials, through everything like that. But they also do this tactic, where you have people getting triggered at almost every single ridiculous shit that's imaginable. And in order, like, if you have to live amongst them, like you're in a university campus, or, you know, you're on a Discord server, if you want to live amongst them, you gotta learn the rules. And in order to learn the rules, you internalize the wokeness. My God, like, it's genius, isn't it? Like, it's the smartest thing ever. And the thing is, like, the rules are always changing, right? Like, what's offensive today may not have been offensive yesterday, and it may not be offensive tomorrow. So you gotta stay up to date. You gotta read the press. You gotta stay connected to social media and see what else triggers them. Like, who the fuck would have thought that if you play a Wizards game, you're going to get into trouble in 2023? Like, back in 2020, J.K. Rowling was the champion of the left. Now VTubers were getting harassed over playing that game. This is what I'm talking about, like complete ridiculous nonsense. And people are subjected to it specifically so that they study wokeness. Let me know what you guys think, and if you like this channel, there's a link to the pinned comment, and it takes you to my subscribe star. And if you want to leave a tip into the tip jar over there, I would be very much appreciated. And I'll see you guys later. Take care.